Hello everyone, my name is Yi Junhu and I'm a PhD candidate at School of Education and Professional Studies, Griffith University. My PhD study, entitled Internationalizing Chinese Universities, a case study of transnational academic identity construction, looks at a cohort of Chinese early career academics who have obtained their research degrees from English-speaking countries and now have returned to teach in an elite research-intensive university in Beijing. I collected my data by interviewing this group of young academics about how they learned, internalized, and bring back Western knowledge as a way of contributing to the internationalization of higher education. I was looking for theoretical support to help me understand my data, which include both what is happening at the policy level and down to the everyday life and work of the teachers. I think Bernstein's theory of pedagogic device and his way of investigating specific pedagogic codes can make it possible to look at both macro and micro levels of pedagogy at the same time. With the help of Bernstein's theories, I can understand a big picture. How a country imposes its expectation of increasing national competitiveness onto its education system, and how a particular university picks up this expectation and turns it to policies that encourage teachers and researchers to return and teach Western knowledge. At a macro level, Bernstein theories are well known in terms of demonstrating specific pedagogic practices, such as how teachers select what to teach and how they teach it. In my case study, I want to apply his theories to see how the new generation of university teachers recontextualize the Western knowledge, Western pedagogic models, and the ways of communicating with students into the Chinese context. In addition to the aspects I'm sure the theories will be helpful, I'm also curious to see if anything unique would emerge, because my project sets in a quite different context to that was in Bernstein's work. In his original work, Bernstein outlined pedagogic examples mostly happened in primary and secondary classrooms. However, my focus is on tertiary education. The teachers I interviewed said that university teachers are responsible for teaching discipline knowledge, supervising research students, and producing as many publications as possible. But more than these, they also need to take care of their students who all live on campus and be on call for any task that given by senior teachers or head of department. Bernstein's theory of power and control relation is a useful lens to study these issues. But at the same time, these concepts may be enriched if the notion of division of labor is taken into account. Secondly, Bernstein, positioning himself in working-class communities, mainly discussed issues like social justice in education. But my interviews were conducted in an elite university with young academics who may face different problems. For example, they may need to deal with knowledge colonialism and imperialism when recontextualizing the Western knowledge. Some people may consider it as a new form of inequity of knowledge possession and transmission between the academia in developed countries and that in developing or less developed countries. While some other people just say, take it easy, it's just a game rule. Thirdly, Bernstein wrote about education in the European context and from time to time cross-reference to North America. But at this point of time, the global landscape is shifting rapidly. Some Chinese elite universities have reached the top 50 in the International University Ranking. Also, while many students choose to study overseas, There are also a lot of them choose to return to their home countries upon graduation, bringing back knowledge and skills. So I think it's equally important to look more broadly. That's why I'm interested in sketching out what is happening both locally and globally, and how the local is engaged in the global movement of knowledge and human capital. So I think what really appeals to me is the space in Bernstein theories with which I can experiment in other contexts and in the new era. I was actually a little bit intimidated when I was first introduced to Bernstein theory when I just started my PhD study, because having studied systemic functional grammar and sociolinguistics for 7 years, I didn't have confidence in switching to a new theory system. But what surprised me later was when I read about the correlation between Halliday's linguistic theory for the description of the speech and Bernstein's code theory. It explained to me when we are talking about the selection of instrumental and regulative discourses or horizontal and vertical discourses, we actually need to refer to the linguistic realization of those discourses. So if I could give advice, I would say as research students and future researchers, we should be brave to explore new areas. And the connecting point between what we are familiar with and what is new is where we can build up our project.